Game Up Hard Hydration.
If you haven't tried Game Up, then you are missing out. Imagine your favorite seltzer and your favorite sports drink had a baby, but it's way better than that. Each can is 110 calories, low carb, 4.9 ABV. It's a nice light drink that is not light on flavor. Game Up comes in fruit punch, orange, lemon, lime, and grape. Pick it up at drinkgameup.com or at your nearest liquor store.
AEW Dynasty is this weekend. From the bottom to the top, Acclaimed and Daddy Ass versus Bullet Club Gold, 6-man championships. I haven't paid close enough attention. I assume they're merging these belts. Who do you think's coming out on top?
Bullet Club Gold, the Bang Bang Gang, Jay White, the Guns. I think they'll be victorious. I think they should be victorious. I think they're the hotter act right now. Honestly, I feel like the Acclaim and Daddy Ass have run their course. They were on fire and they're still good, but I just feel like give it to the heels right now. Now, that being said, I think this card is really good in ring-wise, but we did not start off there yet. We will get there.
Yeah, next match, you got Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, Mark Briscoe versus the House of Black. I think this is going to be a fun match.
Yes.
I see Copeland, Kingston, and Briscoe winning.
Not going to disagree with you there. I'm going to go with the baby faces.
I've heard a lot of people speculate recently that they think Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews are set to go back to WWE. It's not outside of the realm of possibility. We've seen a lot happen. And that's not even why I think they're necessarily losing this match. But how do you not go with Kingston, Briscoe, and Copeland? Match following this, Hook versus Chris Jericho, FTW title.
This is a tough one because Jericho kind of got punked out by Hook the other night. I don't see why Jericho needs the FTW championship, though. But what are we setting up here? You know, Jericho still hasn't, he's kind of acting heelish, but he still hasn't, other than shoving his dad, which I didn't like this segment at all, by the way, just talking about Dynamite last week, where like, I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, but like Jericho basically shoves Taz down and Hook just kind of gets in his face. Like, someone knocked down your dad. You're not going to throw hands. You're not going to double leg him. You're not going to try to like hurt him. You're just going to get in his face and tell him he needs to leave the ring. I didn't like it, but I'll go with a shocker. I'll pick what I would consider the upset because I don't see why he would do it. I'll go with Jericho.
Our second disagreement, I see it's got to be Hook, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Jericho won it. Jericho is always my favorite. She's saying Hook is too cocky. All right, well, we got a couple people picking for Jericho.
Yes.
A match I didn't even know was happening, but I love this matchup. Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly, AEW International Championship. It was bound to happen with the return, not quite getting together 100%. I'm surprised by this match.
Yeah, they put this together on Collision really last week. Strong had beat Rocky Romero, and then O'Reilly just came up to kind of, congratulate Strong, but then check on Rocky. And then the guys started beating up on Rocky. Kyle's like, what the hell? Roderick Strong's hit Kyle with one of those knees, laid him out, set up this match. Should be interesting. They have not done a lot to get Kyle O'Reilly hot right now. I feel like he's kind of forgotten about. But I like Kyle O'Reilly. But again, I just don't feel like they did a lot with him. So I'd like for him to win here, but my mind tells me Roderick Strong.
I'm right there with you. I would love to see Kyle O'Reilly take that championship, but it doesn't feel like he's been built up that way. We've got Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale, AEW TBS Championship. To me, there's only one way this match can go.
I go Willow. Willow has that win over Mercedes, and Mercedes is supposed to meet the winner of this, and I think they want to do something with Willow Nightingale and Mercedes. I love Willow. I think she's got a great personality. The fans really get behind her. She has a lot of fun. And I think it just comes off the page on her. And I think it's her time to put some gold on her in AEW. So I'll go Willow Nightingale here.
100% right there with you. We'll see if we agree on this next match. Kazuchika Okada versus Pac, AEW Continental Championship.
I think we're going to agree on this. I like Pac. He always puts on hell of a matches. I'd like them to have his time. They're not making Okada lose anytime soon. He's coming in there, he's beating people up, and he's getting put over until we eventually do something with him for the world title, or even if he ends up wrestling Mox for the IWP title, but on AEW. Like, they're going to do something big like with Okada.
100%. I agree with you there. Next matchup, FTR, Young Bucks, ladder match for the World Tag Team Championship. The build up to this has gotten a lot of shit. A ladder match for the Tag Team Championship. It is hard not to, enjoy. AEW does have a ton of belts. And
Yeah.
that's one thing about an AEW pay-per-view is Tony likes to almost defend every belt on his roster, and sometimes like even an ROH belt if he could fit it in. And it feels a little much, but I'm going to tell you the TNA card is not too far off in that structure either.
I'm going to go with the Young Bucks here. I want FTR to win, but I think Jack Perry's coming back. I think that's why we're going to justify doing that video. This is to set up Jack Perry as a heel, and he's going to help the Bucks. That being said, still think that video was a waste of time. And I wish the FTR boys were winning, but I also don't even know what their future holds with Cash and everything. He still's got legal problems and this. And so I feel like the Bucks will win. They'll tie up this series, and eventually we're going to end up doing like a best of 5 or best of 7 with these guys.
I could see that. You get the heel heat with the Bucks. You could bring back Jack Perry
It
with
should be a hell of a
it.
match.
Oh yeah, 100%. Ladder matches are big for this company. Another big match for this company: Tony Storm versus Thunder Rosa, AEW Women's Championship. I feel like we've said it with so many of the matches tonight that it's like we hope one person wins, but it seems so obvious that the other is. And like, I would like Thunder Rosa to get a win. She is a great talent in AEW. I would argue underutilized at times, but how do you not have Tony Storm win?
Yeah.
And if anybody's going to take the title off her, it's got to be Mariah May. They've been building up that storyline so huge that feels like one way to end it.
So, Jess, we're agreeing with you here. We're going to hopefully make you happy. We'll see what AEW does. But yeah, I got to go Tony Storm here as well.
Co-main event, another match that was almost derailed by one of the promos going in, which this week I'm very glad they moved away from any of that. I thought Mox had a good way of building up the company without having to name anyone.
Oh, me too. Mox,
and like that's the kind of leadership you want. And it's not what we saw Ospreay do last week. And Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson, a little excitement has been taken off of this just because of that promo. I still think this is going to be a hell of a match.
I love me some Bryan Danielson. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of this era. But at the end of the day, he's just not winning those really big matches right now. And we feel like we're building Ospreay up. So I got to go Ospreay again. Now, one other thing about the Mox thing real quick here as we go back to you, jokes. I just want to piggyback this. Jess loves Mox, by the way, as we know, we all do. What Mox did as opposed to what everybody else in the company did, and even Adam Copeland, who I enjoy Adam Copeland, but one thing Mox really did was he put the company over in a very subtle way, not going over the top, talking about the fighting spirit, and then also getting back to storylines and competition. So for me, Mox was a real MVP for this company and really showed me why he's special. But at the end of the day, as far as this match goes, I got to go Ospreay all day.
I'm right there with you. Will Ospreay with the win. It's going to be a great match. And what should be the best match of the night, Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe, AEW World Championship. Heard a lot of discussion.
Yeah.
Some people think Joe is walking away with it. A lot of us think Swerve's time is now. Where are you in this?
I think it's Swerve. I think they should have booked a singles match with Swerve beforehand already. He was so hot. I think the time is just do it now. Put the title on this guy. He is somebody that came over from the WWE and then NXT and everything he was doing there. And unfortunately for him, under that Vince regime, and although he could stand out, he's really excelled in the AEW system. He's really excelled at making his presence felt and known. Go back to when he was teaming up with Keith Lee and they were the tag team champions. Keith Lee came in from WWE as well. Keith really, despite the injuries, I feel like came in as the bigger star of the two at that time initially, in the sense, he had a win over Randy Orton at one point. Like, he had so much buzz even back from the indie days, right? Keith, because of his size and his athleticism and everything he could do. But Swerve really started to outshine Keith Lee in those moments because of what he could do on the microphone, the stories he could tell, and then still the great matches he could have. And at the end of the day, Swerve has just been on a roll constantly since then. I say put the gold on him.
I am right there with you. If it doesn't happen here, it could happen at Double or Nothing, but I think it's going to happen here.